Hello, welcome to another episode of Bat Dan's Thoughts. So we all love the Arkham games, right? Some of the best Batman out there, in my opinion. It's the Arkham games. But one game that I feel like isn't considered as good as the rest is Arkham Origins. Wasn't made by Rocksteady. There were definitely some glitches. So I think there's a lot of stigma against Origins. But in my opinion, I think there's a lot of stuff that Arkham Origins did better than the other Arkham games that tends to get overlooked. And I figured, you know what? The game takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day a little bit because Alfred at one point mentions that it's past midnight. But anyway, it's Christmas time, so I figured this would be a great time to talk about what are, in my opinion, 3 things that Arkham Origins did better than the other Arkham games. Number 1. Oh, by the way, spoilers, the game's been out for like 10 years now, I think, 2013, 9, so yeah, spoilers. But anyway, number 1, boss fights. I think one of the overall best fights in the entire Arkham series is in Arkham City, Mr. Freeze. Don't want to totally disregard that one, but overall, I think some of the best boss fights are in Arkham Origins. Let's take a look at Bane, for example. In Arkham Asylum, when you're fighting Bane, you're essentially fighting a watered-down version of the Incredible Hulk. All you're doing is throwing a batarang at him, and then throwing punches at him while he's, like, can't see and just swinging mindlessly, and then just removing the venom. But in Arkham Origins, you're actually using your hand-to-hand combat. First of all, you have to actually dodge Bane's attacks, not just throw a batarang and move out of the way when he's charging at a wall, but actually dodge his attacks. You have to deflect, swipe, whatever you call that move, get behind him, maneuver as Batman, remove the venom, then you can actually fight him. You're actually using your hand-to-hand combat to fight Bane. Because Batman, that's what he does, is hand-to-hand combat. And you really feel like Batman when you're fighting Bane, and you really feel like you're fighting an intellect. Another boss fight that is probably really great, probably one of the best in the Arkham games, is Deathstroke. Let's be honest, Arkham Knight dropped the ball with Deathstroke big time. Deathstroke was one of the greatest Batman villains of all time. And in Arkham Knight, he has this giant tank, and you take it down with the Batmobile. Then when his tank is destroyed, Deathstroke jumps out and Batman knocks him out in a cutscene like that. I know it's Batman, but come on. Deathstroke can put up more of a fight. If you're a Snyderverse fan, you're campaigning for the Batfleck movie where Ben Affleck's Batman fights Deathstroke. I don't think Ben Affleck had something like Arkham Knight in mind in terms of taking down Deathstroke. But in Arkham Origins, that's a boss fight. That is a boss fight where you're fighting someone with hand-to-hand combat. The way Deathstroke uses his swords, and you're constantly blocking his attacks, moving out of the way. That is a boss fight. You're actually fighting him. In my opinion, it really keeps you the most on your toes as Batman. I definitely think it's the one where people die the most time fighting him. I definitely think that boss fight is just one of the best out there. And another one that I don't think it's talked about as much is Firefly. And I love comparing these to the other games, but in Arkham Knight, you're just catching up to him with the Batmobile and dragging him down. But here, you're actually fighting like Deathstroke on a bridge. Little details about this fight that I love one is you really feel like you're fighting Firefly on an unstable bridge. You use your glue grenade and throw it at Firefly. There are certain points where you actually have to grapple, move, even while you're fighting him, you're actually moving. You're using your grapple gun to jump on ledges and move to different areas, to more stable areas. Even grabbing Firefly and having it hold on and dodge debris. Little details like that they put in there. It's great. I really loved it. There's a lot of really great stuff, boss battle-wise, in Arkham Origins that's just better than all the other Arkham games, in my opinion. And number 2, the story. Arkham Origins has the best story ever. In Arkham Asylum, I don't want to knock these other stories completely, because in Arkham Asylum, it's a really great story, but it's a basic story. Joker takes over the asylum, you're taking down villains who have escaped, and then you got Arkham City, where it's supposed to be about Protocol 10 and Hugo Strange, yet you're spending most of the game finding a cure for the virus that Joker has and infected Batman. And then Arkham Knight, yeah, don't get me started there. The Jason Todd reveal as Arkham Knight, that was not great. But Arkham Origins has a lot of really great character development. Roger Craig Smith does a great young Kevin Conroy, a great inexperienced Batman. But you really see him kind of transition from a lot more ruthless, I would argue careless, to someone who a lot more level-headed, a lot more open to improving as a superhero or a vigilante. His relationship with Alfred, you go from an Alfred who's completely disapproves of Bruce Wayne being Batman, slowly accepting him as Batman. You got this really great moment right after Batman fought Bane for the first time, and he has to go out and find Bane again. Alfred trying to stop Batman from going. That scene right there was just a lot of great acting from both Roger Craig Smith and I don't remember the guy who plays Alfred's name. But basically, a lot of really great acting from those two. Later on in the game where Bane breaks into the Batcave and almost kills Alfred, or I guess maybe he technically does kill Alfred, but not dead long enough that Batman was able to revive him. I don't know the medical stuff for that. But anyway, Alfred's line of, "Don't add me to the weight you carry." The way that was delivered, I loved it. And when Alfred gave that speech about Batman needing allies, that was another really great, powerful moment. And another relationship that developed really well was Batman and Gordon. You see Gordon not accepting Batman as a vigilante. Gordon and Alfred working together to take down the bombs that Firefly set off. A little story detail of when you're a player. As the player, there's 4 bombs, so you think you're disarming 4 bombs, and so many games, you would have to disarm 4 bombs, because that's the game. But I kind of liked in the story that you only did 3, that the police ended up taking care of the other bomb. It really showed that great dynamic between Batman and Gordon. It was another great story moment. Gordon seeing Batman not killing Bane. And then Batman and Joker. A lot of great story aspects with Joker. I love that whole segment where he's Red Hood and he's walking down Ace Chemicals and he becomes Joker. And seeing the origins of Harleen Quinzel into Harley Quinn. Troy Baker, he does a great young Mark Hamill. Really great acting from him. A really great line. "We both exist because of them." Delivered so well. A lot of great story moments, a lot of great acting, something really special that Arkham Origins had. And I would say last but not least, and to me this is the most important aspect of what Arkham Origins fixed. Bane. This is what Arkham Origins did way better than the other Arkham games. It was Bane. I read Nightfall. Bane became my favorite Batman villain outside of Joker and Harley Quinn. In my opinion, the best versions of a lot of these villains are in the Arkham games. Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze. Heck, even Joker. I think Mark Hamill's Joker is much better in the Arkham games than Batman the Animated Series, because rated T, Arkham Knight rated M, so not held back as much. But let's be honest here. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City dropped the ball with Bane. I kind of alluded this earlier with boss fights, but they made Bane an idiot. Let's be honest here. I mean, there's already this bad stigma after Batman and Robin that Bane's an idiot. Heck, I thought Bane was an idiot because, I'll be honest, my first introduction to him was Batman and Robin. But when reading Nightfall, I saw how intelligent he was, and the Arkham games just didn't really show that until Origins. In Origins, Bane figured out that Batman was hiding in the elevator. Bane orchestrated a whole prison riot. And Bane figured out that Batman was Bruce Wayne. Something he does in the comics. You actually see that. In playing Arkham Asylum in City, I mean, in City it's even worse. He's like, "Do me a favor and die!" And he gets stopped by a gate. Really, Bane? How does this guy figure out Batman's Bruce Wayne? Well, you see why. You see, in Origins, he's actually smart and is able to figure that out. Plus, to show continuity, they provide an explanation for why Bane is dumb. He uses that early version of Titan, TN1, to make himself a lot more powerful to try to take down Batman. And then you see how he becomes this bumbling idiot. At least it showed that there was at some point an intelligent Bane in the Arkhamverse, and again, to me, this is the most important because I love Bane. He's one of my favorite Batman villains out there. Without Joker, he's the best Batman villain, let's face it. He is. Bane is where it's at. I mean, I like Harley Quinn as my second favorite, but even that's her affiliation to the Joker, a lot of it. I would love to see a really faithful adaptation of Bane. I like Dark Knight Rises. There are some issues with Bane right there, but Arkham Origins, probably just the best Bane out there. And because this is in my Christmas series, I want to kind of give some honorable mentions of other things I liked. I love the Christmas setting of Arkham Origins, and I really, as a music guy, I love the Joker theme of Carol of the Bells. It was a really dark version of Carol of the Bells. I love that arrangement, and it really fit with Joker's theme really well. It did a really good job of blending what time of the year it is with the dark grittiness of Batman. So what do you think? Do you agree? Disagree? Do you think Arkham Origins is still the best of the Arkham games or the worst of the Arkham games? Is there something they did better or worse than the other Arkham games? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. And lastly, have a bat-tastic day.